Hey everyone, it's your boy, the Wandering Legend, and welcome to the first episode of my Ace Attorney Let's Play. Without further ado, let's get it going. New game, the first turnabout. Let's do this. Excuse me. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this! I've gotta find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Wow. This feels like a 2000s cartoon so much. On August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Wow. Right. Excuse me. Right. Oh. Oh, hiya, Chief. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before the case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe him my current... I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons why I became an attorney. While that's news to me, I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Nick, you gotta tell me who took my baby away. The person responsible for your girlfriend's death, the newspaper says it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Oh, we get the introduction. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. Wow, what a name. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, what? It's usually been true. That's a long time. That friend's a keeper, yo. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took this case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Yeah, super confident. August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court number 2. Damn, yo, look at the court. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Is that even a word? Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. That would be Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. What's the victim's name? Ooh, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. Wait. Uh-oh. No. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. How do you forget the victim's name? God. Phoenix? Are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name. The victim, of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. That's 100% me, I'm just saying. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just touch the court record button to check it at any time, or press the R button. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Let's see your answer. Who is the victim in this case? It's Cindy Stone, but basically hit the court record and attorney's badge. Type other one of my possessions. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Probably. Okay, Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death? Doesn't matter. Her name is Cindy. So Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you, since you answered such easy questions. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Touch the court record. Oh my god, you've already told us. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. What does that mean? Could you, specify that? Look at that smug face. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! Oh my god, I just literally changed his voice, but I have no idea what I gave him earlier or how to even achieve that again, but... We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet. Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? You should die as well, Larry. I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me ever. What's it to you anyway? Oh, sorry for yelling. Mr. Butts, what you described is generally what we mean by dump. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. Oh, sorry for the mouse there. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Indeed, she appears to have returned to the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but she didn't have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Really? Was that a term back in 2001 or 2005? That's odd. Daddies? Sugar? Larry is just completely dumbfounded. Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Mr. Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you wanted him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong direction. Do I really wanna... Should I... No, stop him right now. This instant. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oh, But Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Right. Actually, Larry, that's what courts are about, so you don't have to die to get to the bottom of things, because that'd be a bit, like, counterintuitive. Whatever. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. But didn't we already establish that he had no idea? Or are we just like pretending that he is pretending that doesn't know? Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the... That's actually really funny. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so like, I didn't see her. What was that with that voice? Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? What? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who's your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Oh. Whoa, judge changed his voice in a heartbeat. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. God, I'm doing a terrible job with these voices. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawyer to the stand. What a last name. Oh, he's one of those people. Mr. Sawyer, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawyer, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony, witness's account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead! I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly, it was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Frank Sawyer used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your... whatever that word means. Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Whoa! Why did this theme start playing? Okay. One of my favorites, but whatever. Alright, right? This is a deal. The real deal. What exactly am I Didn't you finish law school? I do not know what this is. My god. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why you expose the lies in the the testimony the witness just gave? Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then what the witness must have lied, and that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key, it's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Whoa. Okay. Touch the court record. Oh my god. How many times have you said this? What's wrong with you? Cross-examination. Witness's account. Alright then, let's do this. And now we have to skip to a certain part. Because I've already played this game, you probably have as well, so let's just make it quick and sweet. "1 p.m. Are you certain?" "Yes, absolutely." He seems really confident. "1 p.m.? Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him." Alright then. If you look at our autopsy report, it was from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Now you present evidence and... Yeah, objection! You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was nobody to find at 10 p.m. 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Yeah, me too. Mr. Saw-It, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Phoenix. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. If only it were that easy. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I already saw the contradiction in your testimony, so... I see, you heard a voice saying the time on a tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. You know what to do with that big fat butt. I've got this one. Yeah, starts twerking in the middle of the trial. Time of discovery. Cross-examination. You see, when I found the... I don't need to read it again. But how could it have come from the television if there was a blackout? Yeah. Hold it right there! The prosecution has said that there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. Yeah. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Ah! Gah! Defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Saw-It? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Saw-It? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. Excuse me. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. We'll have to kill you. That, and you seem rather distraught. Oh, is that a wig? So a wig. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Side. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. What? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Alright, and hearing the time. No, it wasn't really a clock, it was this statue. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections and your evidence? Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may... Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I just forgot to do his voice completely. I'm sorry. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Do we or do we not? Of course we do. Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew there was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah, prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. I see. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Side, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
Doctor! What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? Did you kill her or did you not? That day, I never... Look, the clock, no, I mean, I saw... Gah! Wow, that's it. That's me 90% of the time. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, I hate you! Whoa, calm down, dude. This guy just got triggered or something. It was him, I tell you, I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Burn! Give him death! Whoa, calm down, pal. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor,
A moment, please. There is no shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright! Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Side heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply sound the clock. Let's sound the clock now here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is a thinker after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25.
Ah!
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Side heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Side, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha! Ha! You forget one thing. Uh-oh, what's he talking about? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. But what could have changed? Oh my god, these people. He's right. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief. Listen up, right? Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But Chief, it's over. I can prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. That doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking outside of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, you'll have your proof. Right? Stop making fun of me! Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Oh yes, I can. Wait! Maybe I can prove it! You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. You found evidence to support this claim? Of course! There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a shadow of doubt. Ha! Tough words, let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Laughs out. Oh. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Wow, what a great joke. Well, what the hell happened to that guy? Order, I say. Well, alright guys, we solved our first case, whoop-de-doo. This case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Oh, I'm sure about that. Mr. Payne, your client, he was arrested and he's been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Hooray! And with that, the court is adjourned. Alright, boys. We did it! Turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. If he had grabbed a sharp one, probably we wouldn't have been able to find out that he was a real killer, because knowing the time was a big part of why we found out, so I don't know. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Cool, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the chief looking this happy. She's this glad. Imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad, 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 bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was, nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent. Thanks, I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Can you believe it? Me, the smartest person on earth? Doesn't that make you just want to cry? Larry... Are you so sure? Excuse me? What the fuck? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, don't you gotta sympathize with me, it's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Quit making fun of me! Don't you have something to show to your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Oh, the thinker? Because... Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's quite a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey Nick! I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am, thanks. I hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of what you became a lawyer was because of him. My voice is dying. I'm sorry that I'm messing up so many words. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." Really? But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave me. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident, and my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I would not be able to keep. Foreshadowing. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye!